All right, guys, today we are going to be reacting to She Took a Break from the Marriage and came back to find another woman in her place. Damn, man. Come back to find another woman in her place. I love this video. Let's jump in.
You know, life really does come at you fast because 1 minute, my boyfriend's meeting my parents and spending a day with his grandparents. And the next day, we have like a mini communication breakdown and I don't hear from him. And it's been a week. And my birthday's in 2 days. So, needless to say, I'm fighting for my life over a man, nay, boy, and writing shit on post-it notes like, you're worthy of love and you're not a worthless piece of garbage, and putting it on my bathroom mirror. I'm not doing well. I'm not doing.
What the hell? That was weird. That was weird.
Welcome to the wall. It's hard to live with him, traditional or impact like at the end of the year. Share your experiences and advice in the comments. That's what helps this community grow. Turn on notifications so
He loves to talk about the dating horror stories, but can we talk about reporting these people on dating apps? So I've had a stalker for like 3 years, and anytime that I report them on the B app, I get a response from the app saying that like they have to see if other people report them before they take action. So let's contrast that with the Spicy app that I'm also on for dating. I recently ended things with a partner that was linked with me there, and I reported the behavior that ended our relationship. Not only was that offline behavior concerning to them, but they said they would take action immediately and expressed empathy and concern. That's a huge difference in reaction. The B app is not where it's at.
Look. I'm
in
sorry.
short,
She looks like a very spiteful person. If you do something she doesn't like, she will destroy your life.
or personal issues is irresponsible.
As a liberal woman, it is really hard to find a man who is willing to play the more traditional masculine role in the relationship in today's day and age. Who is not a conservative? A man who wants to pay on the first date, who wants to open your door, who has that want and desire to take care of you and to provide. Who is not a conservative. And obviously, as a liberal woman, I do want to be respected for my independence. And I do want to have my own autonomy in the relationship and not be confined or conform to the traditional female
So she's a cover feminist.
homemaker, childbearing role. And most of the men that I've dated who do have that more natural provider masculinity about them are normally conservative. So I don't really know what to do because I don't want to compromise my morals and values just to find a man. But am I asking to have my cake and eat it too?
Yes, you are. Feminism is so much fun until it's time to be a feminist. There are a lot of contradictory declarations in her videos, so let's start at the beginning. Saying you want a traditionally masculine man who has the attributes of being a leader and a protector and a provider, who is gentlemanly and chivalrous, but you want him to be a liberal is a total paradox.
Yeah, total.
Liberal men, not all of them, but a lot of them tend to go wherever the social and political winds will push them. So when the feminist movement came in and said, hey, you guys need to shed your
that in itself, so that doesn't make you a leader.
masculinity and not be so assertive and start being more sensitive and don't be so ambitious and step aside and let women take the lead, they did exactly that. And they became more feminine. And now your biological instincts are kicking in and you're like, I'd kind of like to have a man who's a little more manly. As far as splitting the bill on the first date or subsequent dates, that's something that you're going to have to get used to, because men are waking up and realizing that women haven't had skin in the dating game, and that's why they haven't been taking it seriously. Think about it, ladies. One of the expectations of a traditional man is to be a provider, to provide you with things, which involves paying for things. So if you expect a man to pay for you on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth date, which one of your traditional roles are you fulfilling in return? Are you going to commit to him and be faithful to him from that point forward? Of course not. You've got a roster of dudes and you can go out with a different guy every night of the week if you wanted to. So why should he be expected to fulfill one of his traditional roles if the same isn't expected of you? Splitting the cost of dates ensures that the woman is at least to some extent invested in the dating process and is therefore a little more likely to take it seriously. Lastly, what does it mean to be an independent woman? Because I heard this woman say, I want to maintain my independence and autonomy, but I also want a man to come in and take care of me, provide for me, and protect me. But I also don't want to take on the traditional feminine roles of being a homemaker and
So she was an alpha. She was an alpha with beta attributes. She was an alpha with beta attributes.
bearing
This is
children.
insane.
So what are you bringing to the relationship? What it means is that women like this want the benefits of a relationship, but none of the responsibilities.
Yep.
They want a
That's
traditional man,
feminism.
but don't want to be beholden to the expectations of faithfulness, supportiveness, submissiveness, and respect.
Yeah. Hell no. That's what it is, man. It's just they want the cake and eat it too. And I think it has to do with their hormones. Her hormones are not stable. You know?
My husband, 28 male, is living with the female friend, and she, 22 female, has become hostile towards me. My husband and I have been married for 3 years, and our marriage is on the rocks. It all mainly started after the birth of our first child together, in which he became increasingly irritable, aggressive, and sexually distant from me. Once he started to get physically abusive by grabbing and pushing me, we decided to live at different residences in a desperate attempt to salvage our marriage. That was 3 months ago. I'm currently living with my mom, and I work part-time while also taking care of our 18-month-old son with the help of her. My husband purchased a new condo with the financial help of his dad and lives with a female friend of his, 22 female, who he apparently charges rent. Is it rent as in money or rent as in clapping cheeks? Because you can pay a debt a whole lot of fucking ways. I was uncomfortable about his living arrangement with this woman from the moment I heard about it. Mainly because we agreed that we are not taking a break in the sense of seeing others. We're still married and are not going through a separation, but we're just trying to give each other, mainly him, space. No, I mean, y'all can tell yourselves that all you want, but no, because this man has bought a whole new condo with the help of his father and is living with an entirely different woman that is not the mother of his child, his wife, while you are living with your mother. He wasn't worried about where you guys are going to stay, whether you guys were financially stable. This man is getting ready to move on with his life. He is moving on with his life. You're preparing for divorce.
And the reason she's saying that because that's what women do. That's what probably a woman would do. That's why she's saying that.
You are. Like, denial is a river in Egypt, baby. You guys are preparing for divorce. Like,
Okay.
If you play silly games, don't.
It's funny because it's true.
I have to agree with this for explanations when you already have the answers.
You know what I wish more people knew? That the 1950s housewife, like June Cleaver, a lot of people think is like traditional values. That was not tradition. That was an organized PR campaign to get women to stay in the kitchen. When men came back from World War II, women were forced to leave the workforce. Ad agencies and pop culture really glamorized the housewife. Like, domesticity is so cute. And women were continually sold
This
more.
is the face of somebody that has lost all sense of reality. This is her way of basically she's trying to convince herself that all this was a PR campaign. Why not 1950? Why not the 1900s? Why not the 1800s? Let's go there. That has nothing to do with PR. Actually, I would say it was the opposite. Trying to make sure the females got out of work, out of the kitchen to go to the workforce. Where now we're in a position that the government is getting more taxes per household than ever before.
Products and lifestyles that really emphasized their place. And then the post-war economy really boomed, and so did the suburbs. Middle-class families started to move into single-family homes, and men became the breadwinners. Then pop psychologists started to talk about, oh, women are the caretakers and the nurturers, and it's tied to our biology. So either she's going to be really good at taking care of the home and your children, or it is her personal failing. And then even educational institutions started to promote degrees in homemaking. if women got higher degrees at all. And this is all to prepare women for marriage instead of the workforce. You can even see that publications like women's magazines went from writing about adventure stories to romance tales where women just find their like knight in shining armor. So we're supposed to like go back to traditional values. This was never a tradition in the first place.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yep.
In
Exactly.
summary, she's arguing
Exactly. She's just trying to convince that all this biology in humans is just a PR campaign. Because feminism is the most natural way of doing things, right? These people are crazy. Crazy. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you next one.